That was wonderful to follow. I'll just say first, as I stand up here in terms of my identities, how I come to this today. I do work with UU Mass Action as a UU community minister. My primary areas of interest are in environmental justice as well as racial justice. And I also have recently moved my family to Quincy. So this has become even more of a living and personal area of concern. I'm also a social worker who teaches at Boston University, and we have off-campus programs at Cape Cod College. So there are many ways in which this has become very important to me. We live in times more threatening to our shared planetary survival than ever in human history. Our dominance, philosophies, theologies, and ways of being have led to privilege for some and endangered others. The impact of climate change already is being felt by the most marginalized on our tiny shared planet, while others temporarily benefit from the continued exploitation of the Earth's precious gifts, falsely claiming them as unlimited property resources for personal gain. Yet within just 20 years, everyone, not just a more vulnerable few, will begin to feel the impact of climate change in personal and troubling ways, both here in this country and in our larger shared world. Over a year ago, the United Nations called upon the world religious bodies to provide moral leadership in transforming the values that underpin our economies, so that those economies in turn may be transformed to address climate change. We have lived in unsustainable ways for far too long, and our crumbling nuclear power plants, such as Pilgrim, along with our continued reliance on fossil fuel pipeline constructions, such as the West Roxbury and Dakota pipelines, are among the boldest examples of this unsustainability. From Idle No More to Standing Rock, indigenous spiritual leaders have risen up across both continents of the Americas to call us to a new way of being before it is too late. Interfaith leaders of a new moral fusion politics social movement, such as the Reverend William Barber of North Carolina leads, state that we need a moral revival across this country, as well as here in Massachusetts. Each of us has the capacity to be such a moral leader, and it is the particular responsibility of our elected officials to serve and be as servant moral leaders, leaders who listen to the call and cries of their people for safety, reassurance, sustenance, and imaginative social wisdom as we confront our challenges together. Within all religious and philosophical ethical traditions, including but not limited to Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Hinduism, Islam, and Judaism, though the language may differ, we witness leaders called to account for cultivating moral virtues and actions: humility, truthfulness, transparency, trustworthiness, integrity, courage, peace, justice, accountability, compassion, generosity, vision, stewardship, and service. These moral virtues of leadership are needed more than ever during these life-threatening times, particularly in our elected officials. As a gathered people of Massachusetts who experience our lives and communities threatened by further serious emergencies, including possible catastrophic equipment failure in the continued operation of the Pilgrim nuclear power plant in Plymouth, we call on Governor Baker to hear our cry fully to be our elected moral servant leader and chief safety officer of our state. We, the people, say to Governor Baker, speak out and protect us. Everyone. Governor Baker, shut it down. As a gathered people of Massachusetts who need reassurance of your courage and commitment to accountability, we, the people, say, Governor, we elected you to be responsible for and knowledgeable about this state and her people, not the feds. Governor Baker, shut it down. As a gathered people of Massachusetts who find sustenance and hope in your compassion for the reality and the depth of our fear, we, the people, say, Governor Baker, Demonstrate your courage and heart and courage now. As a gathered people of Massachusetts who need our elected officials to demonstrate foresight and imagination on behalf of a sustainable future together, we the people say, we need you to connect the dots from West Roxbury to Plymouth in your long-term vision for a wise, safe, and clean, sustainable energy program for the citizens of Massachusetts. Governor Baker, we call on you now to be the fullest, wisest, and most courageous and trustworthy moral servant leader that you can be for our times. Governor Baker, shut it down. May it be so. Blessed be, Ashe, Amen, and Amen.